So in the demo presentation today, what are we going to see? What is the agenda of the today's demo presentation? What is the what are we looking at today? If you pay enough attention to the demo session, I can guarantee you that you will be knowing better, you will be having better exposure and better knowledge what the success factor system is all about. Okay, that's the motive of the demo session today. So, what all we would be covering: a small introduction on what is success factor all about, how did success factor come up, what is the connection between SAP and success factor, what has been the history of success factor, then what are all the different solutions that's offered by the success factor, SAP success factor solutions. And in success factor we have two landscapes basically, which are called provisioning and one admin or the admin center. Okay, what are those, how are they structured, and what kind of activities we would be doing on both these systems, a little exposure on that. And how does the system architecture look like when it comes to success factor? What is the technical architecture, what is the solution architecture, we will be looking into. Okay, and how does the integration happen between SAP and success factor? So when I take you through the demo session, you will know why we should be having integration and how does it happen. Okay, so these are all the topics which would be covered as a part of the demo presentation today. Okay, so having said that, what is success factor? Success factor itself is an independent company. Okay, so they had their own HR solutions, so for the business, HR business. So what are all the HR line of business? Recruitment, employee administration, performance management, training, then well, I covered training, recruitment, yeah. So, and then basically when we say personal administration or employee administration, organization management also comes into place. And success factor also goes one step further and gives us some advanced functionalities in performance and goals management, which is called the 360-degree calibration, all those subjects. And when it comes to succession and development, where you have resources in your company, you want to plan how to go ahead and see who can succeed, who can be a successor of a prominent position in the company, that solution is offered by success factor. So having said so, the talent management modules are best offered by the success factor system itself. So what happened, when you take SAP, SAP also is an ERP. So what is an ERP? Enterprise Resource Planning Solution, which offers all the solutions that is needed for not only running HR business, all business functions, which is part of any industry. So having said that, HR business also is being catered by, you will be able to perform all the HR activities, HR related activities in the SAP system as well. So what's the difference? SAP was offering everything on an on-premise solution. Success Factor offers all the solutions on a cloud-based platform. When it is going to be an on-premise solution, I need to have the SAP GUI and the software installed, and I would be able to perform most of the functions. And SAP, in order to extend its functionality, it offered employee self-service and manager self-service, which is part of the online capability, but they have not opened up to the extent of extending all the HR functions. But when it comes to success factor, They provide all HR solutions. You can perform any HR business operations on an cloud-based platform. You will be given a link, you will be given an ID and a password. You can go in, log in, and perform all the functions. Okay, so having said that, SAP was not so strong on the cloud-based solution when it comes to specifically when it comes to HR. Not only when it comes to HR, all platforms, SAP was trying to find the best partner who could provide a cloud-based performance. Okay, so they went in success factor when it comes to HR line of business. So what SAP did was they went into merger with SuccessFactor as part of their strategic alliance, and they, in order to successfully integrate an on-premise solution and a cloud-based solution, the data has to be managed between both the solutions, right? In order to successfully integrate it, they introduced something called HANA Cloud Platform. Okay, so this HANA Cloud Platform enables you to store your data, process your data on the cloud platform, and integrate with the on-premise solution. Okay, so what do you understand out of all these explanations what he gave you? So SAP is an independent solution which offers HR business operations which can be performed. SuccessFactor is also an HR based solution which runs at a cloud platform. So that these are two different systems. So when we speak about two different systems, this is where the integration aspect comes into place, which we will be seeing through as a part of the demo session. Okay, so having said so, these are the different. So what we are trying to learn here during the training course, SAP part of implementing the HR solution is not part of this training. What we are focusing is that how we are going to implement all the HR business solutions, HR line of business into SuccessFactor is what we are focusing at. In that case, we should be knowing what are all the solutions that's offered by SuccessFactor. In other terms, they call it SAP SuccessFactor now because they have merged. Now SAP has acquired SuccessFactor. Okay, so having said, we have, I already told you, we have recruitment, we have learning, employee central and payroll, compensation, jam, mobile, onboarding, performance and goals, succession and development, workforce planning, and workforce analytics. I will take you through each of these modules a little bit more in detail going in the oncoming slides. Okay, so um, so what's going to happen? See, I am an SAP client. Okay, I already have all the solutions implemented. Let me say, other than personal administration, okay, and the organization structure maintenance, which is part of my personal administration module, performance and goals, learning, recruitment, okay, succession and development, those are called talent management modules, because in personal administration or on the employee central, you will try to manage these resources in the company, their exits, entry, promotion, salary increase. So all those you will be managing them. But in the performance goals or in training, you will try to manage or make the talent which is available to the next level, right? So they are called the talent management modules. Okay, SAP itself on the on-premise solution has all these functions under SAP ERP HCM module. Okay, and SuccessFactor also provides all these. So in that case, when they are going to integrate, I told you, in order to integrate the database level of activity or the database level, they introduce something called as an SAP HANA Cloud Platform, right? But when it comes to business function, SAP will be functioning all these under ERP HCM module, and SuccessFactor will be functioning here. So how will the client will not move, right? We cannot expect the client, client is used to operate in SAP for almost 5 years. Okay, and if they have another product which is SuccessFactor, which would require a lot of investment and time for implementation, definitely there will be a stigma to move from one operation to another. The change management is very tough, right? So having said so, how does SAP wants to push the client? How do they want to do it to make them use SuccessFactor? So what would happen in future is, whatever talent management modules you are looking at, okay, which has been not bold, which has been highlighted under white: performance and goals, compensation, okay, succession development, recruiting and onboarding, learning, okay, all these SAP under its on-premise solution product will no more work on any enhancements, will not provide any further functionality developments. Okay, when a client, what happens in SAP is, when we have a product when we need additional functionality, okay, in the product, we write a ticket to an SAP saying that this functionality is not available. And if we are really having more number of users, then SAP will try to implement that functionality and try to give us an SAP note, okay, which will be applied in the system. Going further, for these modules, SAP will not work on the additional functionality or enhancements. They will tell you, please use our HANA Cloud Platform solution, which is SuccessFactor, which will help you to, which has this functionality already embedded in it. That's what they will propose it as a solution. Okay. I'm just taking few minutes. I want to see who joined. Kumar, you want to become a presenter? Can you talk? Few minutes, Avijit. One more person joined, but I'm not sure.
Kumar, actually, the trainer should be the presenter, okay? The trainer should be the presenter. Okay, Lavanya, I will tell him, okay? You continue.
It seems he left.
No, Kumar has left. Kumar has left.
Yeah,
he's having some. Okay, you continue, okay? I will talk to him.
Okay, yeah, thanks, Mike. Okay, so what would happen is, going forward for the talent management modules, SAP will not work on any enhancement or added functionalities, which they use as a strategy to transition the existing client from on-premise solution to an cloud-based solution. Okay, so if you could see here, under cloud solution, all these are the modules. When it comes to on-premise solution, all those line of business are handled under the umbrella of SAP ERP HCM, okay, other than recruiting and learning solution.
Lavanya, one quick question.
Yes, sir.
Are you presenting anything, or I'm seeing a blank? Okay, now I'm seeing it. Beautiful.
I am so sorry. I didn't realize that
problem.
I didn't present.
Not a problem at all.
Okay.
Please move on.
Yeah. I think someone else joined.
It is Harsha Kumar, the person who left a few minutes back. He was the same person joined again.
Harsha Kumar?
Harsha Kumar.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah. Hi, Harsha. Can you talk?
Yeah, I can.
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah.
It's Harish Kumar, not Harsha Kumar.
Yeah, I was thinking, because when I saw your name when you logged in, it was Harish Kumar, but he told me Harsha Kumar, so I was thinking, okay. Uh, this is
Are you able to hear her?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, then that's fine. Okay, Lavanya.
okay. Yeah, yeah. Thanks. Okay. Hi, Harish. So I'm Lavanya. I'm the Success Factor trainer.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
just to give an introduction, we have already started the demo session. Okay. Um, uh, what is your background? Before I could.
I'm into SAP since last 5 years. I'm working into SAP HCM.
Okay, okay, okay. I just wanted to know because what is the background? Based on that, I can basically make it presentable for the audience. That's what I do. Okay. See,
Okay.
actually, I started with the demo because it was scheduled at 9:30 US time. Okay. Where are you
Mhm.
from?
Uh, Delhi, New Delhi.
Okay, okay. So I would continue with this because there are other listeners who have already been waiting. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Please stop me or you can ask the questions at the end of the session if you still have something, or I will anyway send you the recording whatever you have missed. I have just completed the introduction. Okay. I was
Okay. Okay.
trying to give the difference between the SAP on-premise solution and the cloud-based solution,
Mm-hmm.
and how
Mm-hmm.
SAP is going to go forward or make the transition move better. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
okay. Um,
Yeah.
so what we were talking was all the talent management modules which are part of the on-premise solution will no more be enhanced or developed by SAP. They will ask the client to transition to a cloud-based solution. And the slide, whatever you are seeing, which has been highlighted under white, are the modules which will no more be enhanced. Okay, so this slide also give you an representation on what are the modules that's covered, or what, how is it called under an on-premise solution, how is it called under a cloud-based solution, which is nothing but success factor. Okay, so we will go now a little more in detail on what all these modules are. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. To start with, employee central is the primary, or I will say the most needed, or for any HR business, this is where all the HR relevant data is stored. Employees personal data, employees employment data, organizational structure, everything is stored here. And this forms the basis for all the talent management modules, right from updating the user relevant information, employee relevant information starts here. So only when you have employee related information, you will be able to work on their promotion, you will be able to work on their performance reviews, you will be able to advise them for training, right? So all this module forms the basis for um, uh, the HR platform. Having said so, on the other hand, if there are companies who do not implement employee central on the first place, okay, so what success factor offers is they give um, um, uh, an and functionality for user upload. Okay, where you can upload the relevant information that is needed, at least the basic information that is needed, rather than performing all the HR related functions in the system. Okay, if my client is not doesn't want to have employee relevant hiring, promotions, all those he doesn't want to do under success factor. Okay, he wants to just manage performance module, he wants to do performance reviews, he wants to set goals and do all those stuff. Then in that case, success factor gives an proportional upload which can be done, which will help the client to just go ahead with the performance module and not have to create a necessity for implementing employee central. Okay, so having said so, these are the main concepts that is relating to employee central. Okay, what you see on the left hand side of the slide. Okay, on the right hand side, the pictorial representation basically says how the data is being, how employee central is being structured. Okay, so what happens, they have categorized employee personal information, employees employment information. For example, my date of birth, first name, last name, nationality are all my personal information, right? Employment information is what is my position, how much is my salary, which job I am in, all those are my employment related information, right? So these are categorized under HR data. Okay, and for me to be hired into an organization, I should be having the organization structure in place, right? One company, and that company will have 10 departments, and that 10 departments will hold 5 managers. So all those are part of the organization structure. Okay, which is categorized under they are called foundation objects basically. Okay, and these HR data and the foundation tables, the basic structure is being created in the system through data models. They are called data models. So when we go through the training, I will take you through what are all the different data models. There are basically 7 data models, okay, and 5 are primarily, which is mandatory data models. Okay, so these, how the structure is being built, where do you get all the information to be entered? See, for example, if I'm going to enter an user relevant data, okay, and my first name needs to be entered. When I have to enter my first name, there should be a field, right? There should be a space. So that is called a field. Okay, and these fields will get populated into the SuccessFactors system when these data models are uploaded, and these data models are in form of XML templates. Okay, and these XML templates, how do you handle them, how do you change them, how an XML templates are structured, we will see all those as a part of the employee central module training. Okay, so whatever I told you is what you are seeing here. When I have to store an employee profile, all these structure, the relevant fields have to be made available in the system, and this is being made possible through data models. Data models are nothing but XML files. Okay, so having said so, the corporate data and foundation tables is what I was speaking to you. Then you have, see, when I am a user, I could be just an user who uses the system for me to enter my own data, right? And there would be an HR user who will try to manage all the employee relevant information in the system. And there will be a payroll user who will be managing the payroll, right? So all those are, so based on what I'm supposed to do in this system, my roles will be defined and permissions will be granted. There are concepts like user groups, okay, user roles, okay, which is part of the role based permission functionality. So all your security relevant authorization relevant activities, okay, will be taken care. All your authorization relevant configurations will be taken care under role based permissions functionality. No more in terms of speaking for Harish, we will not be having a security consultant in place who will be giving authorization for transactions for users. So, as an functional consultant, when I'm going to be a success factor administrator, or when I'm going to implement SuccessFactor, the security consultant role has to be played by us. Okay, which will be done under role based permissions. That's the concept which is called. Okay, so they give you the permissions are granted based on roles. Okay, that's what it is. And then, as I told you, I was talking through you to the through the demo, the employee relevant information are uploaded. They will give you import formats. they will give you Excel CSV templates. Okay, those CSV templates have to be filled in. It can be directly uploaded. We don't need an program or an custom function or some development that needs to be done in order to upload an employee information. Okay, and then one more advantage of success factor basically is their workflows. On other terminology, they are also called route maps. Okay, I will tell you the difference between what a workflow is and a route map is. When do you use workflow and when do you use route map? But those are basically what to say, and when there is an activity, when there is a process that is triggered, where should it go? How should it be routed? Is what this workflow and route map is all about. Okay, we will be able to define workflows in the system. We will be able to define route maps in the system, and we based on a specific process. For example, when there is going to be address change, I want that address change. When I trigger an address change in the system, I want that address change to be approved by an HR. So what should I do? I should configure the system. When an user goes and says change edit address, okay, he should be able to go when he completes update complete. Is there any question?
No.
Uh, okay, I'm fine. Okay. So when there is going to be a process address change, this address change should be routed to HR, where you will give him the necessary proof, or they will try to validate and then they will make it updated in the system. This is basically called the route. You are routing the process. Okay, so we will be seeing how to create workflow, and how do you do it based on a process or based on a specific object. For example, what do you mean by object? For example, position. Okay, when I say position, I am going to move from a manager position to senior manager position. In that case, I want it to be validated. Okay, in that case, how should the system react? So all these are part of the self-service and the workflow. Okay, and so we are having HR system in place, right? So it's not that all the HR process or all the process that is needed for having employees in our company. For example, benefits management. Let me say for US, 401k is one of the savings plan. Okay, when it comes to similarly in India, we have something called PF, right? Provident fund, which we maintain, which the employer also contributes. In that case, we will have an external provider who will be managing all the funds. The company will not be managing the funds, right? The company will just be deducting and remitting it to a third party who will manage the funds. So in that case, we are supposed to send the data from SuccessFactor to another system or a third party through an Excel file or through a certain kind of a transfer methodology, right? So there is an functionality called integration center. Okay, under the employee central module, where you can basically create your own data formats, specify what data needs to be sent from SuccessFactors system to another third party. You can do an secure file transfer protocol. You can send files from SuccessFactor, send data files from SuccessFactor to another third party. Okay, so we will be seeing how do you work on integration center, how do you configure your own interfaces. If it is going to be a simple interface, you can build it under the integration center functionality. Okay, other than if it's going to be an online data transfer, then you need to go in for an integration system in place, like SAP HANA or PIXI in place. Okay, if they just need a file, you can create what kind of a file, how should the output be, everything can be handled under the integration center functionality. Okay, then uh, uh, in under Employee Central, okay, not only just employee relevant information and organization management data is being handled, okay. The time of functionality, when it comes to other system, the time of functionality is being called as another module itself. But in SuccessFactor, Employee Central covers the time of functionality as well, okay. So when it comes to time off, what do you basically understand? Can one of you tell me?
Is it comprised of the holidays, calendars, and breaks like as we do in SAP?
Yes, yes. Abhijit, do you have anything to add?
I'm sorry. I mean, you're asking about what's a time off?
Yeah, what do you understand by the time of functionality? What do you expect from a time of system?
Basically, anything to do with leave, and um, it's basically time and attendance, and with your rules, if there are certain holidays, whether a person wants to take time off for vacation or sick or personal days, as we do in the U.S.,
Yes,
you can request those time, and it gets routed to your managers, or certain things can be automatic.
yes, yes. You both covered all of them. So they call it employee central time off because it's part of the employee central functionality. They call it employee central time off, okay, where you will be able to create a workflow process for the time off functionality, okay, not only for time off, for attendances as well, okay. And when we say time off, then definitely we are supposed to have in the system when are they supposed to work, right? Only when the employee can go and apply for leave for the days they have to work. So we will be able to create their list of holidays which is allowed for them. That's called the holiday calendar, okay. Then the work schedule, what are the different schedule they work for? Do they work on shifts? Do they work on straight days? Do they work on Saturday? Do they work on Sunday? So what is their work schedule, okay. And when I'm going to apply for leave, okay, I could be having different types of leave: sick leave, earned leave, vacation, PTO, right? So these different types of leaves are called time type in under employee central time off, okay. They are called as time type, okay. And when I have a time type, when I have leaves, then I would be having a quota also, right? A balance on my leaves, that's called time account type. That's how it's being called under SuccessFactor time of module, okay. It's called time account type. So this time account type will be attached to a time type, okay. And what are all the possible leaves that could be categorized for a specific grouping? In SAP we do it under PSG ESG grouping, uh, but under SuccessFactor they call it as a time profile, okay. A time profile can be created, and the leave types which are all applicable for a specific group can be attached, okay. And that will be called to an user. So when this is called to an user, it will make the user to use the leaves based on what is available on their balance, okay. So all these concepts on time off can be configured under these employee central time off functionality, okay. uh, okay, employee central, let me say payroll, okay, then I will take you through what it is. So as a part of an HR function, I am supposed to if I'm going to be an HR part of an HR user, then the HR business is supposed to ensure the payroll execution for all the employees, right? So in SuccessFactor, okay, payroll is also called, is covered under the umbrella of employee central, okay. And now currently all you will be able to maintain all the payroll relevant information through SuccessFactor. Okay, you will be able to execute payroll on a cloud platform. Okay, on a cloud platform, you will be able to execute it. Okay, you will be able to release, you will be able to exit payroll. Okay, you will be able to see what's happening on the payroll front. Okay, but the actual processing, okay, still happens on the back end, which is nothing but SAP. Okay, they call it employee central payroll system. That employee central payroll system is nothing but, it has two layers to visualize. You can visualize it that way. Okay, it has two layers. The front end is SuccessFactor. Okay, the back end is SAP. Okay, so um, uh, um, in other words, if you are going to implement employee central payroll system, then you should be having SAP in the back end. Okay, and there are methodology of integration which is activated, which needs to be activated as a part of your SAP SuccessFactor employee central payroll implementation steps. Okay, we will see in detail on how do you do it. There are certain configurations which you do on SuccessFactor, like, see, as I told you, we will be doing it on front end, right? So when it is going to be front end, then the data maintenance screen, the payroll execution process, everything has to be configured to some extent. And in order to call SAP from the back end, you need to do some integration steps. Okay, and on the SAP payroll system, which is the backend, you will have to ensure all the payroll configurations are completed. Okay, so as a part of the training, this SuccessFactor training, I will be taking you through all the front end configuration. I will be taking you through all the steps that is needed for establishing the integration, needed for data migration, needed for replication. Okay, but when it comes to making the SAP system itself uh, capable of implementing payroll, that's a different module by itself. Okay, that will not be covered as a part of employee central payroll system. Okay, I wanted to tell you because that will again take two more 40 days for me to cover it for you. Okay, because that has more lot of configurations when you have to implement payroll. Okay, so this is how the screen looks. Okay, you will be able to go.
Lavanya,
Yes.
Lavanya, one quick question.
Yeah.
I understand we're going to stay on the front end, but don't you think that if you did not configure, I mean, my background is payroll, so I'm going to think payroll all the time.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't, especially in the US, if I don't configure all the state taxes, all the disability, all the other stuff that's required by states,
Mm-hmm.
which you're saying it has to be done in the SAP, which is the back end,
Yes.
then my job is not complete.
Okay. See, what happens in real time is, if you are going to implement employee central payroll, there will be an SAP payroll consultant who will be working on the implementing SAP payroll. Okay, we will not be doing that because it's SAP payroll itself is a big, you know, the complexities of payroll, I don't have to tell you. So that itself will require lots of expertise and lots of knowledge how SAP can be payroll can be implemented in the SAP system. Okay, and again there are country specific requirements when it comes to payroll. So only an SAP payroll specialist can complete it. Okay, unless and until you have worked on SAP payroll, when you have not worked on implementation, we will not be able to do it.
So you're saying it doesn't make, I mean, even if I wanted to, I won't be able to get that opportunity.
Okay, I can tell you this way. I can, if you want to work as a single person to implement employee central payroll, okay, then you will have to undergo a training on how do you implement payroll in SAP. Okay, then you will have to understand how you implement payroll in SuccessFactor, and the integration part, everything you have to learn. Okay, typically speaking, in an implementation project, they will not give both roles to you.
Okay.
Okay, if you are still interested, we can talk about the SAP payroll training separately. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So okay.
Sure.
Okay, let me tell you this way. You are now feeling that you will, whatever you learn on success employee central payroll will not be useful for you. Is that your concern?
It is not a concern. It's just that, personally, I like to know the full thing, because having knowledge of the full system gives me a better understanding, and also it makes it more real. Sometimes you don't catch the real issues
Okay.
if
See.
you don't know both the ends. For instance, I'll tell you, there are 7 states in the US that don't have any personal income tax.
Yes.
Okay. So if I didn't know that, if if I wanted to set up people in Texas and Florida and Tennessee, I'd like to know what's being set up in the back end, because when you're doing the full blown QA, doing a parallel, you would like to know that, hey, this is the reason why it went out of whack. Somebody did not do it properly. Again, I'm talking from the back end, because I do in ADP, I've done everything.
Yeah, I get you. We can talk
So,
about
yeah,
SAP.
okay, yeah, we don't need to talk now.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. The one
Fair
thing
enough. Thank
which
you.
I can cover, which I would be covering, is we were talking about employee central payroll, right? Which typically SAP is the backend. Okay. So does that mean success under success factor you cannot have a different payroll system? Definitely you can have another payroll system. Okay, where you can call the URL of that payroll system, and you will be able to maintain data, and the payroll system configurations of that system has to be definitely be taken care, like we take care for SAP. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, ADP can also be an payroll system. You can integrate,
Yes.
you can call,
Success factors. You can
you
create
can
success
call
factors to the
exactly.
back end of ADP to make the payments.
Yes, you can call
Got
the
it.
results, you can maintain data, you can transfer data, and you can call the payroll results into success factor system and make the user see their results and the pay stub
The
everything.
payroll. Yeah, the
Okay.
pay advices. Yep,
Yes.
that I can see.
Okay.
No problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it.
So this is about employee central payroll. Okay.
Okay.
Then when we speak about payroll, benefits is an integral part of it. So when I actually started about benefits, when I was talking about 401k, so 401k in US we basically have three types of benefits: health, insurance, and savings. In India, we have Medicare, we have travel, right, Harish?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So
A lot of
these are
perks.
all. Sorry.
A lot of perks.
Yes, yes. So
Perquisites.
any other non-monetary benefit, okay, non-monetary payment that goes to an user employee are categorized under benefits, and each country has its own categorization of benefits. Okay, so you will have a benefit plan, you will have a benefit type, and you will have rules on how the benefits needs to be administered, when an user can go ahead and is eligible for that benefit. So all those are part of the benefits functionality. Okay, so having said so, in
Is that
success
also a part
factor,
of ECC?
yes, it's part of
Okay.
employee central. Okay.
Okay. Cool.
Huh? So when we talk about benefits, okay, success factor gives us a functionality called business configuration UI. Okay, business configuration user interface, that's called BCUI. Okay, they give you screens of benefits, they give you all the functions that a benefit module will have, which you can tweak and change it based on your company's requirement. Okay, they give you standard set of screens which you can tweak it and make it applicable for your environment, for your client. Okay, that's what we will be seeing. I will show you. And this BCUI function is not just used for benefits alone. If you want to create your own custom application, okay, for example, I want to track assets in my company. Okay, I want to track who is using which laptop or who is using which desktop. Okay, which success factor does not give you something called as an asset management module. Okay, but you in under BCUI functionality, you will be able to create screens, you will be able to call up fields. Okay, and assign that screen to the user profile where the user can update information. You can create workflows. Okay, all those can be done as a part of the BCUI function. Okay, where benefits and success factor gives us standard BCUI screens which can be tweaked. Okay, and there are country specific benefits which benefit screens. Okay, and you will be able to attach those process to each event. So what happens basically when it comes to benefits, when it comes to health, in case of marriage, in case of child reaching 21 years, so all those events can be handled and which will be processed through the benefits functionality. Okay, and when we say benefits, the benefits administration on when something is when as I was telling you, when 401k is being deducted from my salary, what is my balance, how much I am eligible for the 401k benefits, how much is the employer contribution, everything will the HR will be able to tell me. I will be having records, but those administration on where the funds are being stored, see, I have an option to go and invest the 401k funds. But who is managing those funds? There will be a third party provider. So in that case, because most of the administration is not done by the company itself, there needs to be a necessity for the benefits data to be sent to a third party provider. Okay, under the integration center you can go ahead and create. On other words, there are success factor themselves, if he is an established third party provider. For example, if you see, I think in US HP is one of the major third party benefit administrator, and ADP, right? So when you have to send them data, there are standard integration formats which has been established, and those could be used for sending the benefits relevant data to a third party provider. Okay, let me just give me a few minutes, I have another person joined. uh, um, may I know who joined? Pragna, am I right?
Yeah, this is Pregna.
Hi Pragna, how are you?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Where are you joining from, and what's your background?
Actually, currently I'm joining from India,
Okay.
and I have done my master's from UK.
Okay, okay. So I just wanted to know the know your background. Okay, I'm Lavanya. I would be the success factor trainer. Okay. Um,
Okay.
Actually, you missed almost 30 minutes of the session. I would send you the
Okay.
recording. I will ask Venkat to send you the recording. Okay. You can ask
Yeah,
me
sure.
questions if you have at the end of the session. Okay.
Okay, sure.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
So, so under employee central, those are all the HR business functions which is covered as a part of success factor. So when it comes to training, I told you what all I would be covering, right? So the next module, which is basically the talent management module, which success factor has got its own name and credit across the world, performance and goals management, where you create this is where you create a baseline of setting goals, and those goals will be can be tracked and executed through the goals management and the goals execution functionality. Okay, and then once the goals are being set and they are being executed, you're tracking the goals. At an end of the year, you will be basically have to review the performance based on what has been achieved, right? That's the performance management functionality, where you will be able to have your performance forms created. You will be able to configure route maps. So this is where route maps comes into place, where according to my company, there will be self evaluation, then there will be my manager who would be reviewing it, then it goes for HR review, then the appraisal gets closed, I get my final rating, it gets closed. So this is basically my whole process of performance review can be defined in this system through the performance management templates. Okay, they are called templates. In business terms, they call it performance management forms. In success factor terminology, they are called performance management templates. Okay, PM templates. Similarly, you have goal plan templates. Okay, and you will be having route maps, which are nothing but the workflows which can be defined in order to make the process complete, or in order to channelize the process. Okay, so when it comes to as I was telling you in employee central, there are data models which form the basis for you to have the necessary data available, necessary fields to be populated in the success factor system. We here, even in performance management, goals management as well, you will have something called performance management templates. Okay, and those templates, the basis for those templates are again XML files. Okay, we will see when it comes to performance and goals management, we don't have more dependency on the XML templates, because they have migrated most of the functionality from the XML template level to the configuration level at the admin center itself. Okay, so we will see how those performance templates can be created, what how your performance form should be looking at, which section should be visible for whom, where should the form go. All these we will be seeing as a part of the performance and goals management configuration. Okay, apart from that, when you have being a performance management system, okay, a manager wants to rate more than one person in the same screen, which will enable him to compare and rate. So this functionality is called stack ranking. Okay, this stack ranker functionality, how do you activate it, where do you activate it, and how do you make it configure, we will be seeing as a part of this module. Okay, and then what happens during performance review process, I'm not comfortable with the rating my manager gave me. Okay, so what I would do, I want to escalate to HR, and I want HR to intervene and make it smooth, or review my ranking, review my rating. In that case, we will be able to create something called as a session. Okay, we will be able to have calibrate the ratings. Okay, make it good by having another person called in. Okay, so there are configurations which can be made in this system. Okay, which is covered under the concept of calibration. Okay, where you can have another third person who is not part of your review process to come and review or see what has been happening on your performance review process and make it complete. You will be able to call up meetings, schedule WebEx meeting, online meeting. So all those functionalities are part of the calibration functionality. Okay, then you know, wherever we go now, we just don't get feedback from the manager. We also there is a tendency to get the feedback from the people below us. We would like to get feedback from the customer, right, which is basically called the 360 degree feedback or 360-degree performance process. Okay, so this 360-degree performance review process can be activated and can be configured under the performance goals and goals management functionality. Okay, which you will be seeing. How do you call a third party? Where do you go and set their where do you give them permissions to access the system, right? And how does it come and sit on your performance form? So all those will be covered as a part of your 360 multi-rater review function. Okay, so this is all about performance and goals management. Okay, whatever you're seeing right now is just a glimpse of how your system will look. This is the place where you would go and configure all the settings that is needed for implementing performance and goals management module. Okay, so you will have an node for goals management, you would have a node for performance management, 360 review. Okay, and calibration comes down here. Okay, so all those, this is where you go and do, just to show you how the system looks. Okay, I will see if there is a time I will log in into the system and show you. Okay, the next module, which is which has more users when it comes to success factors, the recruitment module. Okay, so under this module in the success factors system, they basically categorize this module into two functions. Okay, recruiting marketing and recruiting management. So what does this recruiting marketing is all about? See, we have a position in the open position in the company. Okay, and we want to fill it, right? So this is basically the job requisition itself, right? And this job requisition, before a job requisition is created, there are rules on who can create a job requisition, what is the approval it needs to go through. So all those are part of the job requisition requirement or the configuration. Okay, on the other side, when I have an open position, I should be able to fill it either by an external candidate or an internal candidate who is available in the company or in the market, right? So when I'm going to fill it through an external candidate, then I should make it reachable to the external market, right? To the job market, right? So in that case, how do we create sites? How do we make a specific job available at the job sites? How do we make it available at the job boards? Which job boards I want to make it available? Am I going to make it usable at the through mobile? Can it be accessed through mobile? Am I going to communicate it through any messaging service, or should it be open at an specific LinkedIn kind of a job board? Or how do I make the marketing side of filling a position? How do I make the recruitment process marketing side effective? So here I would be able to create sites. I will be able to create my pages. How my external when you go and click on opportunities or careers, okay, you go and get on a screen, right? And when you click on it, when you look for a job, you can go ahead and type. It will give you all the list of jobs that's available in that company, right? How do you make all this happen is covered as a part of your recruiting marketing. Okay, then recruitment management is once the applicant applies for a job, right? It comes and sits into our database, into the company's database, application database, which has to be managed under different statuses. Then it has to go through all the reviews. Then you will have to complete the feedback, right? And then you will have to provide an offer. Then this data has to be moved into the your employee central area, if you are going to have employee central as well, right? Then Not only that, once he comes in, what all the employee needs to complete, what all documents he needs to provide, which is part of your onboarding activity. Okay. So as a part of recruitment, we will be seeing how to have the job requisition functionality set up, the candidate profile set up, and the candidate management done. Okay. And having said so, like we I told you, for employee central and PMGM, you will be having XML templates for job requisition, candidate profile, candidate application, which are all in form of XML templates, which plays an basic role, but you will not be working much. To tell you the percentage of how much you will be working on XML, I will tell you around not less than less than 10% you will be working on XML file. Okay. But I will give you enough exposure. When you have seen an XML file, you can understand what is it all about. Normally in real time, we don't manipulate more XML file unless and until the client is having more formatting level requirements on the recruitment screen. Okay. So that was about recruiting. Then succession development. Um, this basically helps the organization to plan ahead on the retirees who is going to leave the company and who is having an relevant or an prominent position in the company. Okay. So under you will be a succession and development module. You will be able to create a succession organization chart. Okay. You can do a talent search, and there is something called employee scorecard. Okay. Where based on the certain parameters, you will be able to maintain a scorecard for an employee, which will help you in pulling up reports when you want to do your succession planning. Okay. Then instant awards, nominations, how do you do that? All those can be done and configured under succession and development module. Okay. This is what you are seeing right now on the screen. Okay. uh, let me Pragna, you are able to see the screen, right?
Yeah, I'm able to see it.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So this is about succession and development. Okay. So these are the modules or the business functions that are covered as a part of success factors. So what do? We have all data available. So what is the next requirement of an HR system? Basically, we should be able to pull up reports, right? Which is part of the workforce analytics planning and reporting module. Okay. Where you have different capabilities. Okay. You have something called as an legacy reports, which will give you different dimensions like dashboards, list views. You can have a spreadsheet report. Okay. All those are covered as a part of the legacy reports. Okay. In 2013, these were little more enhanced. Okay. And further, there was something called again a better enhanced functionality for dashboards were introduced. Okay. And ad hoc reports. What does this ad hoc reports mean? So there would be list of 100 fields. Okay. And I can pick and choose what field I want to have, rather than being restricted to use only 10 fields which is available in the report. Okay. So I can go ahead and create ad hoc reports in the system as a part of uh, the ad hoc reporting functionality. Okay. So I have standard reports, I have ad hoc reporting. Okay. If for example the client who comes and says that even ad hoc reporting, I want to do my own representation of data, I want to pull up from standard objects. Okay. Where you want to have your own 100% report. Okay. then that is enhanced through online report designer, okay, which is a 100% custom report. As a part of the course, I will be taking you through legacy reports, dashboards, ad hoc reports. Okay. When it comes to online report designer, I will take you through these steps, but I cannot show you as such because online report designer will require more authorizations, and it takes you to another link which is part of the success factor environment, okay, for which we have not achieved the what to say, the system has not been opened up yet, but I will definitely share you screens and show you step by step if you have to work on an online report designer, okay.
Okay.
So the next module which I want to put at last is because this is not covered as a part of the training. Okay, LMS, Learning Management Solutions, where uh, the training, all activities that is related to training, right from creating training resources, learning items, creating prerequisites, sending out notifications, the pricing part of the training, okay, all those can be configured and created under the SuccessFactors LMS system. But unfortunately, we don't have, as I showed you here, you see under admin center, okay, these are all the functions or the HR business functions which can be handled, okay. But when you see learning, even though it is there, when you click on it, it needs a different what to say, a separate license to use this module, okay. When you go for using success factor system, LMS requires separate license, and it is not handled under the admin center. It is being handled under a different server, okay, for which we have not achieved as a private training institute, we have not achieved getting access to it, okay, because it's again looking for another server provider which is not worked out well till now, okay. But under LMS, you will be able to do all the training functions that is needed for operating your LMS system, okay. So having said so, these are the different modules, okay. As I was telling you, I'll just give you a glimpse of what a provisioning and one admin is. Have anyone been exposed to these two landscapes before? Do you have any idea?
Sorry, I just can't see those landscapes.
No,
I can just see the.
no, I'm not showing you any landscape. I'm asking you, have you been introduced or have you ever heard of a provisioning system and an admin system when it comes to success factor? Have you heard the terms?
Yeah, admin
Yeah,
system I heard.
Can you tell me what?
it's,
Basically, it's like where the super user is can configure the things for the end user.
Hmm? Where?
Means in the admin center part.
What can be configured? Sorry?
Means all the rules for the end user.
Okay. It's configured under admin center.
I think so, if I'm not wrong.
Okay, and what about provisioning?
Provisioning, I don't know.
Okay, okay. And Pragna, sorry, you were trying to say something.
no, nothing. I haven't heard of these terms.
Okay, okay, okay. I will. Okay. So what happens is in success factor, okay. If I'm going to be using only performance management, okay, the activation of the function just to enable performance management to be used in admin center, okay, happens in the provisioning system. So when I'm going to use, so what are the modules I'm going to use in for the client will be activated there, just an one tick mark, okay. In admin center is where I will be doing all the configurations. Okay. And in provisioning, basically two levels of backend. Okay. Provisioning is for activating the modules, activating the business functions for the system to be opened up in the admin center. Okay. Admin center is the place where you will be doing all the configurations. I'll say 95% of the configurations you will be working on the admin center. Okay. Establishing integrations, activating modules, activating specific languages. Just the activation part happens in the provisioning system, and the templates upload happens in the provisioning system. Okay. In admin center, all the configurations will happen. Permissions will be set, user data will be uploaded. Okay. All the configurations will happen in the admin center system. Okay. As far as the training is concerned, you will be given whole 100% access on the admin center. Okay. Provisioning, we will not be able to get you access because that's one central system which cannot be touched and altered by different people. Okay. If you are going to, if four people are going to have provisioning access, if one of the person goes and takes off the employee central activation check which is available. Okay. See, if you see here, all modules will be activated like this. Okay. If I someone goes and sorry, if someone goes and deactivates it, then the admin center will lose the privileges. Okay. So they will not provide you access for provisioning. But when it comes to admin center, whatever I am showing you during the training, you will be also be able to do the same. Okay. As part of your assignments, you will be given assignments end of each session, which I want you to try and give me data in the system. Okay. Give me configurations in the system. That's what is expected out of the training. Okay. So this is a glimpse on what an initially, okay, when they introduced the system, it was called one admin. Okay. Now they're calling it as an admin center. Okay. That's basically a change in the name. Okay. And so when talking about I was telling you what was being covered as a part of success factor, what are all the modules that's covered, right? So how does the system architecture look like? How do I understand how the system, how, what happens to the data? Okay. What happens at the database management level? What happens? So as an user, okay, I will be given an URL. Okay. Let me just log in and Abhijit, are you not there?
I'm there, but this was before when we were starting.
Sorry?
We were in. I'm here, but that the email that you saw.
It was when we started. You sent email.
That's correct, because
Okay.
we were in and out.
Okay, that's fine. Okay. I don't know. Someone logged us out, I think. Even I had to log in again. I'm just trying to log in into the system now. Okay. Able to see the link. Okay. Let me keep talking. I will get you the link. I will log in and show you how it looks like. So what we were talking. Okay. So no, this is not the system I'm looking for. One second. So okay. So what happens is I will be given a link. Okay. And I will be given a user ID and a password. And irrespective of whether I'm going to be an user, okay, or I'm going to be an administrator, okay, I will be given a user ID and a password which will be specific to me, okay. And if I'm going to be just an user, okay, I will be able to just perform processes, okay. If I'm going to be an administrator, okay, I will be able to perform configurations where I can go into the admin center node, okay. We will see. So there will be a company ID which is specific to each client, okay. So I will be giving the company ID. So this will be the URL which will be shared across all the users, and there will be an ID password which will be shared, and based on my privileges in the system, if I'm going to be an administrator, I can go into the admin center area, okay. Let it log in. I will show you when it takes some time, I don't know why, okay. So let me finish this when before it logs in. So using through the graphical user interface, the user will log in, okay, and at the database level, okay, the system will try to identify me through the company ID what I use, okay. I logged in using a company ID, right? And for each company ID, okay, we are speaking about database management at the cloud level, right? So there will be kind of an each container, okay, which will have my company specific configurations, my company specific data, okay, my company specific rules. So when a user logs in with the company ID, okay, it reaches the container which is specific for that company ID, okay, and processes the data and gives it back either to the user, or if it requires data to be sent to another third party through the integration methodology, okay, it sends out data to a third party application, okay. So this is the application architecture. When it comes to the module wise HR business function wise architecture, okay, how does the data sit, how does the processes go? See, the core HR information, which is the employee personal administration, organization management, benefits, payroll, time and attendance, which are part of the employee central module, okay, lies the, stands the base for all other modules to operate, okay. Then comes the talent management module, which sits above employee central, which gets data from employee central or the core HR layer, where it processes information on recruiting, onboarding, learning, goals, compensation, and succession, okay. So the data that is available as a part of your core HR layer and the talent management layer, okay, feeds information to workforce analytics and workforce planning. I'm not sure. Can one of you put yourself in mute? I think Harish, I'm able to hear my own voice. Yeah, thank you. This feeds information to the workforce analytics and the workforce planning layer, okay. Then there is something called a social platform, okay, which is called jam, okay, where we have our LinkedIn, right, where you can see other users sharing information about a specific group, right. This is basically an kind of an intranet within the company where you can share information across different departments, different units, or between your team members, where you can share information about their rating, you can discuss learning, training, all those stuff. Okay, that's called the social collaboration platform, which is called Jam. Okay, then you have your mobile application through which you can access the success factor processes. Okay, and you have the online report designer, which is basically part of the intelligent services. Okay, in SAP we have something called as an business warehousing. Similar functionality is what is being handled through the intelligent services, which is part of your online report designer, which is called ORD. Okay, so this is how the applications are structured. So I told you there are SAP clients, right? And who are already having using most of their SAP HR processes in on-premise solution. Okay, and there are new clients who wants to use only a specific part of cloud-based solution for their HR operation. They, other than other operations, they want to stick to on-premise, and there are some clients who want to totally migrate to cloud. Okay, so there are different mentality on how the client wants to use the cloud-based platform. So if you see here, these are the different transition process or the scenarios which SAP is offering the client and giving them solutions. Okay, so the core HR will be under on premise. Okay, all the talent management modules and the workforce planning and reporting alone could be at cloud. Okay, another client would say, I want to have my HR data both at on-premise and cloud, because I want my users to be able to manage their data information or the data and the cloud platform. Okay, but and talent management module, I want to make it on cloud, because when I'm doing a performance review, I don't want my employee to always sit in front of the system and complete performance review or do the recruitment process. Okay, so in that case, you can have through integration layer, you can have the core HR data. Okay, on premise success factor, SAP success factor. I have to tell you SAP success factor because SAP has enhanced certain functionalities in the on-premise solution. Okay, which will enable you to download data or create data formats which can be accepted by the success factor system. Okay, once you're going to implement success factor and when you have HR data on your on-premise solution, okay, SAP gives you certain add-ons. Okay, which could be implemented in your on-premise solution, which will enable you to pull out data which is already stored in your on-premise solution. Okay, which helps data transition better, data migration better. Okay, so this is called the side by side HCM. Similarly, I am a new client, or I want to totally have all my HR operations on cloud, and I have my SAP Finance, which is part of my SAP operation, and SAP ERP package, where I want to have the payroll relevant information, cost relevant information pulled and passed on to the ERP solution, which is an on-premise platform. Okay, that can also be done. Okay, so uh, based on the different transition scenarios, SAP gives you different integration methodology. See, if I'm going to have uh, one part of data, okay, in cloud, and one part of data in on premise, okay, I can either transfer it through I can create a file, okay, data file, and send that data file to success factor, upload it. Okay, or I want it real time. Okay, I want whenever there is an let me say employee promotion happening in success factor. Okay, I want my on premise solution, which is at SAP, okay, I want an real-time update, then I can use an integration, process integration layer, which is enabled through PI or XI, okay, or I don't want two places to maintain my data. Okay, I want to use one common place to have all the data maintained, which is the HANA Cloud platform. Okay, so based on what type of an integration tool the client wants to use, either you can use an file transfer protocol or secure file transfer protocol methodology, or you can have one layer in between, which is an integration layer, which is enhanced through process integration or XI, okay, or you don't have any integration tool, everything is in one common place, both the system access data at the same place and they share information, okay, they just exchange information. That's possible through SAP HANA Cloud integration. Okay, these are the different hybrid different models of integration that is being given by SAP SuccessFactor when you're going to have two systems in place, okay, which is how the system structure is created. Okay, so this is about the integration part on what all could be done. Okay, so having said so, we saw about the modules that is being covered as a part of success factor. I gave you the architecture for how SAP and SuccessFactors integrated and how SuccessFactor itself is being presented. Okay, and these are the integration models. As a part of the course, I would be able to take you through FTP, SFTP. Okay, PIXI, that would be an, if there is going to be an integration layer which your client wants to use, there will be a PI consultant, XI consultant whom we need to work with. Okay, and when it comes to HANA Cloud integration, it's more whatever a basis SAP basis guy would be doing, he would be the person who we need to work when it comes to HANA Cloud integration. Okay, so this is how this is what our role would be when it comes to integration. Okay, so this is, oh, let me see if, okay, I'll just show you how the system looks like, okay, before I wrap up. As an user, when I log in, I will be able to see the screen, okay, where what my to do items, my notifications, whatever I'm supposed to work on. Okay, and this is basically an user login screen, okay, which can be customized. Each one are called tiles. Okay, we can create our own tiles, we can determine what should be available on each tile. Okay, we can also decide which tile an user can take it off from his screen, which tile he cannot take it off. Okay, we can determine all those configurations when it comes to the page management. Okay, which will be covered as a part of your foundation module. Okay, before I start taking you through employee central performance goals management recruitment, okay, I will the first 2 weeks will be on foundation to have to take you through basic things on how you manage the system by itself. Okay, how do you manage the home page, how do you create tiles, how do you set languages, what are all the user level preferences, what an user could do. Okay, all those will be covered as a part of your foundation. And if in foundation there are certain common concepts. Okay, for example, route map, okay, competency, rating, okay, rating scale, all those are common concepts which is used across modules. So those common concepts I will see and cover appropriately on the foundation, else I will cover it with the specific module, okay, based on the understanding level of the audience, okay. So this is basically what an user will see. You can design the page, you can design the color, you can say whether you want a logo or not, all those things can be done. So these are all the process which an user, if I'm going to be an user who is going to have access to performance, okay, I will be able to see it over here, okay, where I can go and see what are all my reviews, how many reviews have been assigned to me, what is the status of each review, I can go ahead and see here, okay. If I am going to be an administrator, okay, there will be some one option for me as admin center, okay. I click here. So this is the page where all the configurations are done, okay, for each process, and for granting permissions, for uploading users, all our 95% work is here, okay. So this is how the admin center screen looks like. So when you have to work something on employee central, you go ahead and do the necessary configurations for employee central, okay. For performance and goals, you go and configure it here, okay, for you to work on. And I was telling you, as a part of foundation, creating user page tiles, creating logos, uploading logos, and company dictionary, all those will be part of your company setting configuration, okay, which will be covered as a part of your foundation module, okay. So this is what is all about an introduction to success factor. So going forward, when you get into the course, you will see how you implement the system in this platform, okay. Any questions?
Lavanya, this is Avishek.
Yes.
I mean, as Employee Central, you've got all these different things. Does it? I guess I want to talk about the certification.
Mm.
How do you go about the certification for Employee Central as opposed to performance and all those things?
I didn't get your question.
Okay, so my main goal is for Employee Central,
Okay.
not performance, not recruitment. If I don't choose to,
Okay.
are there separate certification for each of the modules?
Yes. See,
And
yes, there are separate certification for each module, okay. There is a process, which actually the process is very it's not pretty straight, okay, but like SAP certification, HCM certification, when you do take SAP HCM certification, all modules will be covered, but it is not the way for success factor. You will have to do separate certification for employee central, performance and goals, LMS, recruitment, everything you have to do separate certifications, okay.
okay,
So you can choose.
I mean, based on your classes, I mean, how many weeks is this?
Okay.
Your training?
Okay, see, it depends on what you want to learn, okay. um, there are two offerings or two courses which I basically offer, okay. One is the primary modules, okay, which is employee central, PMGM and reporting, okay, and foundation. The other advanced course will cover recruitment, succession and development, okay. um, um, uh, Little more on online report designer, okay. All those will be part of the advanced course, because normally people are more interested in employee central and PMGM. Okay, they don't want to learn recruitment or succession development. So I felt based on the interest, whatever you wanted to do, either you can choose the primary or you can choose the advanced course. Okay, I will ask Venkat to send you details. I think we talked about it, but I'm not sure. But for the sake of
Yes, I mean, I have to go over everything again.
okay.
Yep.
So for the sake of other people, I'm letting them know, telling you again. So when it is going to be primary course, it would be for 7 weeks. Okay. If it is going to be for advanced course, it will be for 9 weeks.
And you think that that's good enough to get not only business, I mean, basic understanding, but also understanding to get some sort of a basic role in a project?
Yes, exactly. I will be giving you assignments after each session. Okay. I would expect you to complete it, which will definitely enable you to get more hands-on on the system, which will make you confident on how much you know on the system. What I would be giving you is an actually a step-by-step a mini implementation. Okay. So if you religiously or with interest, if you could complete whatever I'm giving you, that will give you confidence to take up the role in a job.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
And
but
mm,
if you're in a class setting,
mm,
so I don't know what other participants, uh, what their knowledge base and where they have covered as
okay.
far as experience.
Mm,
The progress can be somewhat stagnant in certain times, as opposed to if everybody's in the same mindset and experience to some extent, then your progress is much faster.
that
I mean,
happens.
because you,
Yeah, that happens, Abhijit. It depends on how much they put time on understanding the system. But as far as um, uh, my session is concerned, I will be asking more questions and I will definitely be checking if there is an understanding on the basic concepts. Okay. Before I go ahead with the next topic or explanation. Okay, I would be one to one with them if they still need information or need assistance. That's what I do.
yeah, I mean, that's why I'm asking. I mean, if you're going to say it's 7 weeks or 9 weeks,
Mm,
if you're going to be steadfast on that, you
mm.
might find some people may not be able to accomplish what you want to deliver in that 7 weeks,
Yeah,
which you could have done with people who are already in the field, have been doing this for a little while.
uh, in that case, we will not be able to. If a person takes for 6 months to complete, then I will not be able to take 6 months to finish the course, right, Abhijit? So there should be some kind of an dedication and devotion which needs to be paid based on their own understanding or their own expertise, right? See, if if I'm a totally new to the system, instead of working for 2 hours, I am expected to work 4 hours and to understand, right? If it's going to be see, what happens is after the class, yes, there would be even 40 minutes questions that would be asked to me during after the class. Okay, I'm fine with that. But without even doing the assignment or without even logging into the system, if there are questions and if they don't pick up, I will not be able to wait for them. You get me?
Yeah, I'm saying, are you open to, if you see that, let's say you have a deliverable, and at the end of your 7 weeks, you see that and you find that all the participants have not got the material. What do you do then? Because in the process, you know, you everything is not delivered. That's all.
See, I'll tell you what.
But we can move on. I mean, I can take this offline
Yeah.
because I
No,
don't think it
see,
needs
as
to
far
affect
as
other people.
no, for the sake of other people, I can say, see, in order to make a specific concepts understand, in order to make it reachable, I can use different terminology. That's why I wanted to see who are all the audience based on the language I use. Okay, if it's going to be an SAP team, it's because it's just Harish. This time I didn't use much SAP terminology because you other two people are not into SAP. If it is going to be more SAP people, I use more SAP terms. Okay, so based on the audience, I can change the terminology on how I explain. But there should be some receptivity, and there should definitely be dedication on to patch up. If even after 2 weeks, I cannot keep sitting on the same module and keep explaining each foundation table. The other people will get bored, right? If I can take up separately, if they want, if they have something to discuss with me, I have the number. I will create a WhatsApp group, we can discuss. But
Okay.
we will not be able to wait for one person, the other people have to go ahead, right?
Right. So 7 weeks. I mean, you just said that for 2 weeks you're going to concentrate on. To me, it was just basically talking about self-service, the portal.
uh,
What you were saying, a lot about foundation tables and all, but I'm not sure that you were talking about all foundation tables. But that's okay. But I want to know if I wanted to join, I want to know each, the full agenda for each of the weeks. So at least we know that, okay, are we ahead? Are we on
yeah,
schedule?
yeah.
Or we're
I think
behind?
you'd have already got it. I'm not sure. We what are all what is covered under primary, what is covered under advanced, what are all the topics those are covered, which week they are covered. Everything is already there. I'm
Okay,
not
I'll
sure
take a
if you
look.
received it.
Okay. The other thing that I had a question about, and there's a few questions that I had posed to Venkat. I don't think I received any information, but I can do it again. But one of them is the timings, because you and I are in the U.S.
Yeah.
Based on today's participation.
Mm-hmm.
Other two participants are in India.
Yeah.
Not that I have anything against them. It's just that the timings. Um, for instance, I know it may have been convenient for you to do it today. At this time, it may have not been convenient for the folks in India if they had to go to work,
Yeah, I know.
right? So, I mean, how do we get this taken care of?
See, normally my batches would be on weekends. Okay, so when I say weekends, it would be more. See, I plan on these 3 days. Okay, either one of the 2 days will I put class. Okay, either Friday night. Okay, Saturday morning, Sunday morning. It's all the US time. Okay, which is Friday night is Saturday early morning for India, and for us it is a Friday night weekend. We don't have to go for work the next day. Okay, or Saturday morning, which will again be morning for us, and for them it will be around afternoon or evening, which they would be able to take it up. Okay, and again Sunday no one has work. So based on my classes will basically be on these 3 days, 2 days out of these 3 days, and the timing will basically be on who are all joining. Okay, if no one from India are joining, I can have it even during the afternoon. I don't have to put it in the morning, Saturday early morning. Okay, or 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, or 9 o'clock. But if there are people from India, then I have to accommodate the timings on when I put it on Saturday and when
Sure.
I put it on Sunday. Okay.
Makes sense. That's exactly what I was at.
Yeah.
Because the other thing is, I need to know that way before, because I'm also taking other uh, classes. So at a local place. So I need to know that I don't have a conflict.
We will discuss that, Abhijit. You don't have to worry. I will not
Okay.
say that the class is going to be in 1 hour. I will not text you. Don't worry. I will
No, I
definitely let
understand.
people know 2-3 days before. Okay.
No, yeah, I need to know before even we start, because when I sign up for something else, like right now, I do Sunday from 2 to 7. I'm already booked, but that's only for 7 weeks. 2 weeks are done. So next, there's other things coming up. So I want to make sure that nothing is a conflict.
Yeah, we will discuss, Abhijit. We will.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, yeah,
I will let you know and you let me know.
yeah, yeah.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate your time.
You are
And
back.
I have some questions for Venkat, and let me push it back to him again.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
talk to him. Yeah. Harish, Pragna, you have any questions?
Yeah.
No, not as of now.
Sorry.
Yeah, Pragna, go.
Hello. Yeah. Actually, I just since I have joined in the middle of the session, I just wanted to know, it's completely regarding to the management side, right? So is there any sort of programming or something related in this?
Okay. See, as long as programming is concerned, there are like other ERPs. Okay, you don't have to know any specific language to work on the system. Okay. The one
Okay.
technical part which will be which you have to be exposed is XML. Okay, which is called
Okay.
extensible markup language. Okay, and those are
Okay. Okay.
those are predefined tags. Okay, let me not say
Okay.
predefined tags. Those are custom defined tags which are predefined for success factor. Okay, there are standard
Okay.
XML templates which you need to know to read. Okay, to
Okay.
understand.
Okay.
Okay, and if you
Okay.
want to modify, you might have to modify, but not to the extent of where you write a whole program with codes.
Okay.
Okay, I will give you exposure
Okay.
to all the templates. I will show you how a template looks like, how a template needs to be modified when it comes to employee central data models, when it comes to PMGM templates, when it comes to recruitment templates. I will take you through each one of them and give you exposure. So the more you see and you start reading the templates, you will know. I am not a technical person. Okay, my background is
Okay.
SAP. I did MBA, then I did work in an HR organization. Then I started working on SAP HR. Okay, then I
Okay.
worked on payroll, then success factor. Okay, so I don't know a single coding on ABAP. ABAP is the backend or the source code for coding language for SAP. Okay, I do not know a single language, a single coding knowledge. Okay.
Okay. Okay. And also, I just wanted to know on what level companies are currently using this SAP HR factor. It's like what sort of companies, since I have got no idea about this. Because when I have actually searched for the on the job portals and all, I couldn't find many.
What are you looking for? Are you looking for success factor or are you looking for SAP HR?
I have looked for SAP HR.
Okay, see, what happens is SAP HR is slowly going down. Okay, people are
Okay.
migrating to cloud-based solution. So if you look for requirements on SAP HR, very rarely, if a support consultant left the organization, you will have one position. Okay, and
Okay.
even that client is moving to success factor. Okay, so
Okay.
if you look for SAP success factor, you will see more openings.
Okay.
That's why we are
Uh,
now learning success factor and making creating awareness for the system.
okay.
Okay.
Okay. As you have mentioned earlier, could you please repeat like what are the certifications which are included for the SAP success factor?
You have each module will have to be separately certified. Employee central
Okay.
performance and goals management, learning solutions, recruitment, everything has to be separately certified. You have to take exam for each one of the module.
Okay.
Okay.
And I have another question. It's like during the course, do we get chance to get use on the function and all, system and all?
Yes, you will be given 100% access what I show you in the system during training.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's it. Thank you.
you're welcome. Harish, any questions, Harish?
Not as of now.
Okay. Okay. So
Okay. Yep.
yeah, so thank you everyone for your time. We will speak to, we will see if we could get a chance to speak to you at a later time. Okay.
Sure.
One quick question. When is the next one that you're scheduling? The
uh,
class, do you know?
the class, the batch you are talking,
Right, right.
this week, let me see one second. Next batch, I'm planning on August 5th or 4th. The date, I'm not sure. Either it should be 4th or 5th, Abhijit.
Okay.
That's
Largely, can you know? Can I know it's like how long the session would be? What would be the duration of the session usually for the each class?
Okay, see, it would definitely be for 2 hour 30 minutes. Okay.
Okay.
Then it depends on the receptivity of the audience. I might extend or I will stop it there based on their understanding on how far they are comfortable with. That's how I do it. Okay. So
Okay.
definitely for 2.5 hours. Okay. Either I explain the same concept again and again, or I go to a different concept. You will have to sit in a place for 2 hour 30 minutes. Okay. Further than that,
Okay.
depends on the questions and how far it goes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lavanya, appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Abhijit. So, good day. Good day to
Yeah.
Harish and Pragna. Good night, Abhijit.
Good
Thank you,
night, all.
Lavanya.
Good
Thanks a
Yeah.
night,
lot.
all.
Take care.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Yeah. Welcome.